Greetings my saplings, in today's video we are going to be discussing the Yeezy 350 V2 Clay. To be specific, like always in these videos, we are going to be discussing some release info, how to cop them, and of course, like always, some resale predictions. The Yeezy 350 V2 Clay will be dropping on March 30th, and it will be coming in a full-size family run. The men's sizes will be coming for $220, kids sizes for $160, then infant sizes for a whopping $140. Unbelievable. Stock is circa 40,000 for Adidas.com alone, but you must keep in mind that these are region exclusive. Normally, Adidas EU would be getting a big chunk of that stock, hence the United States stock is so significant. Retailers will be carrying these in the low hundreds, and Yeezy supply is going to be under 7,000. So despite it initially sounding like a lot of stock, it's really not that significant. But regardless of how significant the stock is, really it's demand that plays most of the factor here, and there's lots of demand on this shoe. We're going to discuss that as we get to the resale predictions portion of the video, but right now, let's talk about how to cop these. Let's talk about how you can get your hands on a pair. Since they are US exclusive, let's begin with the 10 a.m. Eastern Time online drops. Kicking it off, in addition to the in-store Kicks USA app raffle that is actually still open, you can now cop these on Kicks USA online. Queue for this will go live around 9:30 to 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course you can feel free to use multiple Chrome users on this. Now, because I just did also mention a raffle, I wanted to mention to you guys that I just did compile a raffle list for online and a couple of in-store things. You can check them out on my Twitter. My Twitter is KeithAdam10. I have them all listed there, nice and organized, so you could sign up really quickly. I would suggest just sitting down 20 minutes, even if you're only making one entry into each of them. I would definitely suggest doing more though, just to increase your chances, because you don't want to sleep on these. But moving on, also around that time of 9:30 to 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, the Adidas queue will be going live as well. Now, stock doesn't go live until around 10 a.m. Eastern Time or later, but this is a perfect time to set up your Chrome users and all. I don't want to go too in-depth into Adidas.com right now, specifically because I wanted to focus my time for Adidas.com on the errors you guys were experiencing, why they're happening, and how to avoid them or get past them. So right now, let's just stick to the 10 a.m. drops, and then we'll get to Adidas.com later. So then also at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the dot, I urge you guys to download the Chic app. Also make your account beforehand, have it ready to go at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And then also Hibbett Sports will be releasing at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. My mic cut out for some odd reason, but essentially I was just mentioning foot sites and how they are going to be dropping at 10 a.m. Eastern Time as well. Not only that, but as you saw on the raffle list, you could sign up for foot apps right now, and if you aren't, I would definitely suggest following FTL codes on Twitter. They resend the PIN numbers and the zip codes you need to enter the PIN number on the foot apps to get that extra minute head start. Super useful, and this is probably the easiest way I'm able to get multiple pairs. And the way I get multiple pairs is by making multiple accounts. That's something I really recommend you do, and you should start early. If you don't have any foot apps and you take all L's, that's cool too. Go in the morning and get yourself a ticket, or some stores just do a first come first serve at 3 p.m. local time. You could do that. That'll build up your foot app accounts as well. The essential goal should be, by the time there's the next hyped release, you should have at least $300 on each of your accounts. And when you're using multiple accounts with the same name, you're going to want to use them for different locations. And a little bit after 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Shoe Palace will be dropping the full family size run. Of course, as you guys know, it's not the most pleasant thing trying to cart on Shoe Palace, but of course, try your best. I'd also like to mention, with those releases out of the way, that 3 a.m. Eastern Time has been the drop time for Yeezy supply. If it isn't going to be at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, I will in that case tweet out to you guys. Again, my Twitter is KeithAdam10. Feel free to follow me, even if it's just temporarily for this drop. It's up to you. So yes, unfortunately, you will likely have to set your alarm if you are on Eastern Time, or you might just want to stay up and say screw it, whatever. Regarding Yeezy supply, although stock is quite lackluster in comparison to some releases we've seen in the past on there, it still is very possible to cop manually, and it's not too difficult at all. Now obviously, we know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the bypass jig, and if you aren't familiar from my video, which was made around a year and a half ago or so, essentially all you need to do is add any random item to your cart, then you bookmark the shipping page, and the reason we're doing shipping over payment is because occasionally they do move the CAPTCHA. So you simply bookmark this page, and the main issue initially was that it was too inconsistent But now we know how to make it more consistent, and that's by making this as close to the release as possible. You don't want to wait until last minute, because if the password page is up, then it's game over. But you do want to do it a couple of hours before the release, because you don't want your checkout token to expire. In fact, if you really want to, you could even leave the product in your cart and then make sure you remember to remove it as you're checking out, because you'll have time to do so. But I do suggest removing it, and your checkout token shouldn't expire. You should be able to do the bypass jig completely fine, and it should be really fruitful for you. Also, I would suggest setting up this bookmark on multiple Chrome users. I wouldn't suggest doing too many, because then you do risk getting IP banned. It is Shopify. But you could get away with doing it 2 or 3 times, and then all you really have to do is use a different email address for different orders. Then with your address, you could just add an address line 2 as 1A, 1B, 1C, maybe 2A. And if you do live in an apartment, you don't want to do that. You want to keep it accurate. All you would have to do in that case is add 5 random letters right before your, say, 123 Maple Street. So you could do ABCDE 123 Maple Street. That works as well. And then make sure you use a different payment method. As of recently, I've gotten multiple orders with the same payment method completely fine, but this is a more hyped release, so I would assume that they are going to be canceling a lot more. So yeah, once you have the bypass jig set up, all you got to do is once you're in queue, you simply press the bookmark. And it's that simple, guys. Should be nice and smooth for you. And for anyone watching who's not going manual, just my biggest tip, if you don't plan on copying any kid sizes or infant sizes, make sure you include negative kids and negative infant, or just use price check of $219 to $221. I'm just trying to save you guys, because it could be really frustrating. Anyway, moving to adidas.com, of course we're going to be using the multiple people jig, where essentially you just make a bunch of different Chrome users. You guys know what this is. There's not much to it. You just want to have different Chrome users, because adidas.com tracks your cookies. So we know that, we got that down, but what's up with all these errors that we've been getting recently? Well, almost exactly 1 year ago today, we had the Wave Runner drop on the 15th or so, or on the 9th maybe it was. I can't even remember off the top of my head. But it was a really terrible release in regards to all of these errors. And a lot of people were saying, Keith, is the multiple people jig patched? It's over, Keith. We can't do it anymore. No, that's completely false. All these errors you're getting has nothing to do with your end. It's all on Adidas' end. And one simple way of showing this is because mobile users were getting these same exact errors, and evidently mobile users weren't using multiple Chrome users. They were just simply using their mobile device. So no, there's nothing wrong with the multiple people jig. They're not on to us or anything. It's completely fine. They legit haven't changed anything. If you are wondering though how to get out of this error, which isn't 100%, but for the most part it usually does end up working, all you have to do is make sure you clear your browsing data and cookies, then close out that tab on your Chrome user before opening up a new tab for adidas.com/Yeezy. And once you do this, it's going to be kind of laggy. Give it about a minute or 2 minutes. Just going to be a big white screen, and then eventually it'll put you back to where you used to be. It's extremely frustrating if it's a poor release, because you're going to have to do this very frequently. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes it's just a terrible drop. So I guess my essential point here is, don't worry, the Chrome users work fine. They work like a charm. Any errors you experience, it's on Adidas' end, not yours. With How to Cop out of the way, why don't we move on to some resale predictions? So do I think these are going to be profitable? Yes, of course. Even common sizes for this specific release are going to be profitable, and even if you have high tax in your location, it's still going to be small profit. So I would definitely recommend going for all sizes possible, but like always, sizes under 7 and sizes 12.5 and sizes over 14 are the best for sure. But you might not be able to get those, and that's completely fine. You should expect this release to be quite reminiscent of what we saw with the non-reflective static release. So initially they might not be doing too well once they go into circulation, so you'll see a massive drop, but over time they'll be going for a significant amount. Hence, I suggest you definitely hold these. Not only these, but also the true forms and the hyperspace. I might make a full video on this, and I really do suggest you hold on to your pairs. Don't be impatient. But yeah, you should definitely be getting as many pairs as you can, and especially if you have no tax in your location. There should be no excuse to just go ball out on these clay Yeezys. Just empty out your entire bank account. Regarding the kids Yeezys, it is a different story. Although the retail is only $160, only expect small profit on these. And then when it comes to the infant pairs, honestly, I think it's a little too risky there. You might want to stay away from those. But regarding the kids, it can't hurt to go for them on adidas.com, where they do free returns. With Yeezy Supply, you do have the $20 shipping and perhaps tax in your location. It's really up to you if you want to follow through with it. With that though, I'm actually going to conclude today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, feel free to leave a like, or if you perhaps learned a thing or two, subscribe and turn on post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all hyped releases such as these. With that, I'll see you guys later. Good luck on this release, although you shouldn't need it. I trust you guys will be okay. And, excuse me, I'll see you guys later.
Get your foot off my foot. Ah. Get your foot off my foot. Yeah. Get your foot off my foot. Oh. Get your foot off my foot. Yeah. Get your foot out my foot, yo. Get your foot off my foot. Yeah. Get your foot off my foot. Get your foot off my foot. Get your foot off my foot. Get your foot off my foot.